Hello, you lovely people. This is me, the Bombay Chef Varun Namdar, and welcome to yet another episode of the Curry World. Well, today's recipe is straight from West Africa. This is a chicken peanut curry. Well, you call it a curry, you call it a soup. Especially for this recipe, both the terms are absolutely interchangeable. Let's begin chicken mafé. This West African specialty is a chicken dish. It's a chicken delicacy made with peanut butter. Yes, you heard it right. But what I'm doing is, I'm of course simplifying this entire recipe. So you will see it a lot different from how it's traditionally made, especially because I'm not using peanut butter. I'm using freshly roasted and salted peanuts without the skin. And the only reason why I'm doing this is because peanut butter as a commodity could be expensive in some countries, and I want everybody to try and make this recipe at least once in their home, because trust me, over a period of time this has become my favorite curry from across the globe. First things first, I'm using chicken legs in this case, and I'm going to marinate this. Now the marination in this case is very basic, very simple. Now traditionally they use onion powder, garlic powder, parsley powder. Now because these are also ingredients that you may not have in your kitchen pantry, I've spread the ingredients across the table. Now parsley, I'm not using parsley powder, dehydrated powder. I'm using fresh parsley, and I'm going to grind it while making the paste. Like I said, I'm also not using peanut butter because I'm using peanuts. Chicken seasoning powder can be added. You can add in your allspice powder. You can add in your several powders or several curry powders that you get across the globe. I'm making it in a very simple way. The first thing is to use allspice powder, followed by red chili powder. What's important in this recipe, and I've taken this personal liberty of taking a little bit of a tour around this recipe and creating it so that it reaches closest to the original. With this, dried coriander seed powder and just a touch of turmeric powder. Now while I'm using chicken drumsticks for this recipe, by all means you can use chicken thighs, chicken breast, or an entire curry cut of a chicken bird. To this I'm also adding in a touch of salt. Mix this well and keep it aside. While the chicken is resting, let's quickly make the peanut paste. Now like I said, I'm making it slightly my style. Eventually, of course, the taste is going to be very similar, but this is my style. Roasted, skinless, salted peanuts. Now basically what I'm trying to do is making peanut butter at home. Now peanut butter generally has peanuts, of course, salt, sugar and oil. Simple. So sugar goes in next. Salt, mind you, is already part of the roasted peanuts. Now while I'm using vegetable oil, you can use any neutral oil like canola. Now apart from peanut butter in this recipe also calls for a green paste which is made with coriander and chilies. It also has onions in some cases. It also has parsley powder, if you remember I said, or dehydrated parsley. So I'm also going to add in parsley in this recipe. So fresh coriander leaves, fresh parsley leaves to of course take care of the dehydrated leaves in this case. Chilies. Now, this is the only time you're going to add chilies in this recipe. Of course, you've added red chili powder while marinating the chicken, but in terms of green chilies or in terms of the spice quotient of this recipe, this is all that this recipe requires. Let's cover this and grind this into an absolute smooth paste. Remember, peanut butter, not the chunky one, the smooth one. With this, our combination paste is done and ready. When I say combination paste, it means peanut butter as well as the green paste that technically or traditionally goes in this recipe. Let's keep this aside as well. Let's bring the chicken back in the scene and let's start frying it in oil. A cooking pot on high flame with oil, and like I said, the next step is frying the chicken. The oil is heated up. Let's drop in pieces of marinated chicken. Allow this to pan fry on one side. Once that gets a nice deep golden brown color, we're going to flip it and allow it to turn golden brown on that side as well. Let's gently flip the chicken over. Once the chicken gets pan-seared on all the sides, let's pull this out of the oil. What's important at this stage is to have these little brown bits at the bottom of the pan, and that's going to add wonderful layers of flavor. Let's add in tomato puree. Along with this, onion puree. The next is adding in paste of tomato. Now you may ask, what's the difference between tomato puree and tomato paste? It's very simple. Tomato puree is basically freshly crushed tomatoes into the form of a juice, if I may simplify it. Tomato paste is basically like a concentrate. So when you keep reducing the juice to a point where you can actually scoop it like an ice cream, that's your tomato paste. Now, in case you do not have tomato paste with you, you can also use tomato ketchup. The kind of tomato ketchup which is not too sweet, because you do not want this to be numbing sweet. You want that sourness from the tomato to be the prominent flavor, of course, along with peanuts or peanut butter, which is going to be the next ingredient. But before that, let's add in some sea salt. And along with this, a combination paste, which is the green paste along with peanut butter. Let's give all of this a wonderful mix. Now, what is peanut butter adding to this recipe? It's of course adding the name, it's adding flavor, it's adding thickness, it's also adding this wonderful texture to this recipe. Let's mix all of this well and allow this to cook on medium flame for 40 minutes. But before that, I'm going to add in the fried chicken. Let's give this a good mix. Let's add in water because it's going to cook for a long period of time and you do not want anything to start burning or sticking to the sides or the bottom of the pan. Well, halfway through the recipe, which is around say 20 minutes, we will add in some vegetables. Now I have a mix of onions, potatoes and some more, but we'll wait for that. Let's stir this well. Ensure that you scrape the sides, scrape the bottom and allow this to cook on gentle flame. When I say gentle flame, medium to low is absolutely perfect. The color now that is looking green will start getting slightly denser. The curry of course will start getting thicker. You keep adding water and keep adjusting the consistency. Do not forget, do not leave it at a stretch to cook for 40 minutes. You will end up with a burnt curry. It's been 20 minutes and the chicken is getting cooked in this peanut curry. At this point, it's half mark. When I say half mark, it means the recipe is half done. At this stage, let's add in a few vegetables. I'm adding in some peppers. Now you can also throw in some Scotch bonnet chili, which is kind of spicy. Wedges of green cabbage, but quite unusual for a lot of people, but trust me, it's like a stew, it's like a curry, it's like a soup with lots of vegetables thrown in. Potatoes, which are peeled and halved. And last but not the least, onions. Now these are tiny onions. I'm adding them whole. Let's give this a quick stir. Do remember, all through the 40-minute process, you can add in water because you do not want anything neither to stick on the sides nor the bottom of the pan. Add in water. At any stage, when you add in water, just as a thumb rule, add in hot water and keep stirring it intermittently. Allow this to cook for another 20 minutes or till the vegetables and the chicken are perfectly cooked. It's been 40 minutes. The chicken has perfectly cooked and needless to say, the vegetables are also wonderfully done. Oil is also released the sides of the pan, which means it's done and ready. Off goes the flame and this straight goes on the serving plate. Well, this recipe of chicken maffe goes wonderfully well with steamed rice. Make this for your family, make this for your friends. Try it. I know it's a different recipe from what we usually see, but this is the curry world, so it has to be different. Bye for now.